What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wrestling Junkies podcast. I definitely forgot to play our intro theme song there as the countdown hit to 1, and I figured it's too late now. We're already on camera here, but fuck it. Like, you know what? Fuck
live.
it. That's so much better. That's so much better. Anyway, welcome back, guys. Welcome to the Wrestling Junkies podcast from Mr. Cincinnati. As always, that's the podcast dad. Choops, you look very tired, my friend. How are you?
You know, coming back to the real world after vacation is always hard, right? It's always hard, and
Yeah.
you know, a 12-hour day at work was not on the menu, but here we are.
So I didn't get a chance to ask you this yesterday just because we had a guest, but just give me a guesstimate as to how many beads he came back with. Podcast that went to Mardi Gras, by the way, for those that have not tuned in yet this week. But make sure to give us a follow on X and TikTok at Junkies Pod. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Junkies Pod. Most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We need your help to get there. So just tell one person. Tell your mom. Tell your friends. Tell your dispensary person. Tell your situationship. Tell your boss. Tell your supervisor. I guess there's a fucking difference. But yeah, if you like what we're doing over here, come hang out. Join our little community. And while you're at it, go show some love to our friends at the Main Event Wrestling Network at mainevent_net on all social media platforms. If you want great live podcasts, live watch-alongs, blogs, fan art, funny memes, you name it, we have it. So go show some love to the crew on, again, mainevent_net on all social media platforms. Great Brown Hope, one of our fantastic writers, just dropped a new piece earlier today, so make sure to go check that out as well. And I'm sure that we'll be seeing him in the chats soon enough tonight. Coming up this week, you should go check this out on IWTV. SCI Scenic City Invitational presents the Scenic City Rumble this weekend. Aaron Wade, Tim Bosby, both defending their titles. 30-man SCI Rumble winner gets into SCI later on this summer. So a lot going on in the world of independent wrestling right now. Podcast Dad, that's a lot of beads there.
And these are the ones that only came home. I will say the parade that we had, which was family friendly, so let's not get crazy out there, folks. The parade that was on right across the street from our Airbnb lasted 4 hours.
Nice.
So you can imagine the amount of beads that were thrown. We had to go back to the house, drop off beads, and then come back out. That's how many.
Yeah. Also, shout out to our new friends, Chris Wrestling Views. Go give him a subscribe over on YouTube and give him a follow on TikTok as well. Podcast Dad. Also, we haven't really gotten. I just posted this on our Instagram story. I apologize that I don't have a graphic for it yet, but coming up this weekend, we've got a phenomenal title match that involves some friends of our show. We have got Music City Fight Night presented by Coastal Championship Wrestling. We have got the CCW Tennessee Heavyweight Championship on the line. Our friend Jaden Newman taking on the Zaddy Dylan McQueen. I don't know if you've been keeping up with what they've been doing on Twitter, but these are super laid back, like nice guys in small settings when we hang out with them, but they're ready to rip each other's fucking heads off. And we're going to throw a little bit of fuel on that fire. They're both going to be on tomorrow night to talk about this match face to face. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. Although it'll be good for us. And if you guys want to see that, I did hear Eric say subscribe to our YouTube channel, but if you guys want to see that tomorrow, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because we will be live, and that's one of the best ways to see it and to see future content that we have. But Mr. Cincinnati, I came back with a bunch of necklaces, but
but there's one that's near and dear to your heart. Congratulations, you now have the highest paid running back. Okay, fuck you. All right,
and the highest paid linebacker.
Okay.
They re-signed Zach Bond today. So,
all right.
And it's funny, and you see how they build a team and reward their own.
If this even fucking turns into a Sam Hubbard conversation, I swear to God. All right.
No, you're retired.
Nope.
You're not. Did you see Max Crosby signed a huge deal as well?
I saw that too. Yeah.
I mean, I was just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Saying what, Chris?
Well, look at it in a positive way. You could trade T. Higgins for DK Metcalf. Straight up. Who says no to that? Hey, just saying. That's not a bad trade-off.
It's really not. It really isn't.
I don't know who's going to block for Joe Burrow, but yeah.
Okay, I'm not doing this. I'm punching the heavy bag today. NXT is in the books, and after the weekend that we've had, we kind of needed like a let me up sort of night. And for the cool stuff that we had happen, it was still a very calm evening compared to Saturday and Monday. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I agree with you, and I want to clarify with kind of what you just said. I don't think we mean let me up as in like a letdown or disappointing show. I think let me up is kind of has a good connotation to it, right? Like this just wasn't the insane craziness that we've been seeing, which how much more could we really take at this point? So it's nice to have and we still had some fun stuff on this show. Like it was some decent stuff. I want to get into it. How did you feel about, and I'm on the fence of how I felt, but the show going on and like going back to like the press conference kind of at the same time. How did you kind of feel about that back and forth? I thought it was a little weird.
Dude, it's fucking wild because I had this thought last night, just from and I know that we're not supposed to use the L word on this show. I make that clear, but when you think about it, they were doing a press conference to hype Roadblock at the same time that the live show is going on. During the live show, we saw Jordan Grace get attacked by Roxanne Perez. We saw Cora Jade have a very legitimate injury scare. A bunch of other fights and things breaking out that you'd think that, oh shit, something's going down. Like we'll come back to you later and pop out of the room there. So I don't really get it per se. I mean, I think there's ways that you can pull off the press conference without necessarily being in the middle of the show like this. I think that it serves the purpose of getting some quick TV time to people that may not necessarily be wrestling on the card, and it's different from a promo. So I can understand the logic behind that there. But if you've got a bunch of media members and you're talking about this upcoming match, but then again, the things that I just mentioned, an attack and a very legitimate injury scare, you'd think that would have them running for, we got to go cover this. We got to go figure out what's going on there, just from a canon standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, it was unique, right? They're trying something different. It was, I'm not going to get mad because they tried something different. Right. I didn't think it worked as well as maybe they wanted it to work, which is fine. Again, I'm not going to get mad when we ask for a different presentation and they give it to us and it's just not great. Like Kyle, I missed you as well. Everybody missed me. It's okay. I'm back. I'm never leaving again except for soon. I do have a trip in July.
We got a couple of trips in July.
Yeah. Trust me. I know.
You can't go, Mr. Ramsey. Go with me. It's fine.
That's all right. It's the week after. All
right.
Just gotta make sure.
He still might go anyway.
That's fine. Maybe we can get the podcast mom to go too.
Maybe. I think that we should let's have that conversation.
All fair. Where were we? Let's talk about some of the matches. Sol Ruka getting a pin on the Women's United States Champion. Big deal.
Not only did she get the pin, did you see what the fuck she did to get the pin? An F5 of Piper Niven onto Chelsea Green. Zaria's gonna be ready for that single spotlight scene, and I tweeted this last week. I'm ready for a Zaria Piper Niven one-on-one match. I hope that we get that as part of this. I wonder if this is, and I don't know if it should be the case, but I mean, we've got Chelsea Green coming over to NXT. They have a women's mid-card title here. Is it that they have a deep enough women's division that they think that we can kind of bring challengers to NXT or bring champions to NXT to face off with them? I mean, Zaria realistically, yes, gets the win over Chelsea in a tag team match here, but if this means that she's earned an opportunity at the what's that? Oh, yeah.
So Ruka got the pin, yeah. Zaria did the F5 and then Ruka went got the cover. Yes.
Correct. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, I think this is maybe bring them over just to test the women of NXT. Chelsea will probably still get the win in singles action if that's where this is going. But I mean, with the number of titles that we have and everybody that's kind of scrambling or needing a program here, I don't know that I want to see this consistently of the women's Intercontinental and U.S. champions because, again, just because they have a mid-card title in NXT as well.
And it may just be, hey, we don't really have anything going on right now for that mid-card title. Let's bring them down here. And if she defends it on a weekly show and picks up a victory, like, I'm not going to be that mad at it.
Sure.
Obviously, don't want this to be defended on, like, Stand and Deliver or something. I think Chelsea deserves a moment. But if this, you want to pop a number on the CW, one of these nights and have this main event or do something like that, I'd be fine with that. It's not at least Chelsea's on TV, right? At least the mid-card title's on television. That's not to take away from the North American title, which we saw. I think we might see who the new number one contender is might be here soon. But with all that being said, like at Roadblock, we're getting Julia and Vakor. So it's not like Stephanie's defending that title right now. She's not in a program.
Yeah.
She's in a program with the main champion. So it's not, though that mid-card thing's kind of missing right now. So I wouldn't be too upset if this would happen.
That's fair. Yeah. And Kyle, to your point, I mean, we saw them try that with the tag team titles and we see how well that worked out. Like it just and they have a deep enough roster across all three shows. I think it's just taken them a while to really kind of find their footing with programs here. Like at least with Lyra, they're starting to figure something out. They've got, the Ivy Nile, really gave her some aggression. Ivy Nile is not somebody that we were clamoring to be in the women's world title conversation, but no, this is a perfect spot for her right now. And who knows, she might get a run with this belt, which might convince us that she could be ready for the top prize eventually. So, I mean, I do think that these titles serve a purpose. I think that we need to be more intentional with, setting up some stories for them.
I much prefer a title being involved for like when we have a mid-card women's feud, because we just wouldn't have them then. Like that just wouldn't be the case where we'd have a 5-minute match. Like at least these mid-card feuds mean something now. At least it's leading to something. And real quick, speaking of mid-card, I do want to give a quick shout out to Natty, who will, what is it? Is it Bloodsport? Is that where she's going?
Bloodsport and Crockett Cup.
I did see, in the NWA, which we haven't seen much interaction between NWA and WWE. So that's another one of those. Hey, look what we're doing with TNA. Is this something we could do with NWA? And again, have another minor league kind of feeder system, which, let's be honest, you got the two big dogs here with AEW, especially with AEW announcing all the pay-per-views are going on Max.
Prime.
That's Prime, sorry. That's okay. You're both right here. And then it's just the totem pole, right? And minor league, again, is not a negative connotation. It's just you're not here. You guys are here, and that's okay. We need that in wrestling. Yeah. We need feeder systems.
Just the hierarchy right now. Yeah.
And your TNA tag champions were on the show last night. Like we've seen Moose, we've seen Joe Henry. Like, I'm okay with that kind of thing. Speaking of the Hardys, it was cool to see the Hardys again.
Yeah. No, this is I mean, we hear the rumors of a main roster run this summer, which would be great. 25 years of TLC. That's not me saying that I want that to be their program or anything like that, but it is an appropriate time to bring them back into the fold as a result. That's all I'm saying. But no, it's everybody wants to step up and challenge the Hardys, and this is their chance to really kind of have that last push of whatever this last stretch of their career might be under the WWE umbrella, and hopefully that Hall of Fame nod soon.
I hope so. I do hope so. They deserve it, obviously. Obviously, they deserve it. I'm just kind of looking down here on my notes. Oh, Trick Williams. Give me this.
He is
love
pissed.
This. I love this. This is the edge that I needed from Trick Williams. Like, you keep losing. Get pissed off about it. Like, and this is what's going to take him to the next level. We know he's an over babyface like hell.
Yeah.
We know that. The crowd will sit there and chant his name, sing his song. Booker T's on commentary doing it. The crowd is pumped. You remember last year at Stand and Deliver how into it that crowd was with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're a year later, and you've kind of fizzled out a little bit. And you're proving that, yeah, I can do both. And I can do heel on my own very well. I'm liking where this is going.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I mean, and we've seen this with Braun Breaker. We've seen this with Roxanne Perez. As far as their times in NXT, they were ready for the main roster for a while, but this is kind of that opportunity to stay and see what it is that you have as a character and as a performer through various stages of your career. This is an edge we needed from him, and it sounds like we're going to get another Eddie Thorpe match, which is fine. I think Trick gets the win back here, and let's put this to bed so Trick can end up on the main roster after Mania.
I don't think he's going on the main roster after Mania.
Okay.
I think they're going to hold him down there for a little bit and kind of see exactly what they have in him. Like, he's one of those guys you mentioned, like a Braun Breaker, Roxanne, that I think needs a little bit more seasoning. He could definitely use some to see how well-rounded he is. Let's see. Axiom Frazier is an excellent tag team in WWE. As far as Trick is, this soon-to-be heel turn type Trick does need to have. Yes, I could see him being tweener. I could see him kind of being, like a Braun Breaker on the main roster right now. Like, I don't think Braun's uber heel. I don't think Braun's uber face, but he's kind of in the middle. SummerSlam might be a little bit more appropriate because I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do after Mania. I don't know if anybody knows what they're going to do after Mania, but I don't know. Nobody knows what they're going to do for Mania. So like it could go either way. I think the thing we talk about is keep building up the talent so you can get these guys up. Like, I think Ethan Page is ahead of him. I could see a Ricky Saints ahead of him right now. You have the Julia, you have Stephanie. Like, those are 4, I think, big names that could possibly go before him. Fraxium is another one that I think after this run at NXT, what more do you need to see from them? Like, put them on the main roster. Right now, I think the pecking order might be, leave Trick down there for a little bit. You still need star power in NXT to keep this going. And yes, they have the partnership with TNA, but Oba Femi's not going anywhere, I don't think, anytime soon. So give him this heel Trick Williams to kind of balance out the two sides.
Well said. Well said.
And I'm talking too much.
Another one for Chris. JCJ needs to be called up, but then again, I don't know what you guys think because she's been in NXT for 5 years. She's insanely talented. She is a tag team
special
wrestler for sure. Yeah, that is her thing. I think Fallon Henley probably has a better chance of success as a single star than leave JC Jane and Jasmine Nix together as a tag team. I could buy that, but I don't necessarily think that they need just her right now on the main roster, especially when we're talking about programs for people that are already on the roster that would. There are people that our champions can challenge right now. I just don't think that she's needed just yet. I mean, quite frankly, I wonder if she will ever get to the main roster.
They could put JC and GG back together and have them be a tag team, and I think it'd be
also true. Yeah,
both of them kind of seem lost in their singles.
I do like that GG, Shotzi, Tatum, Paxley trio, though.
I do too. But I think you could break Shotzi and Tatum Paxley off together and be fine.
Could do that too. Yeah,
I think you need to continue to add depth to your tag division, and say they do both come up as groups. That's fine too.
Yeah.
Toxic Attraction was fun.
I just miss Mandy Rose.
You do not.
I do.
I know you do. I was not the biggest Mandy Rose fan. I thought she did well with the NXT Championship. Yeah. I just thought it was a little too long.
It's fair.
That's just me. Speaking of women's champions,
Masha
Slamovich again in the crowd.
I know.
But it sucks because her program was with Cora Jade, so maybe they pivot a little bit. But it was
doesn't
good
sound
to
like
see
the
her.
injury is too bad though. Sounds like
I haven't seen anything on it.
Yeah, it's not her knee. She tweeted out last night. It's not her knees or anything like that. It might have been a blow to the head or something. And don't quote me entirely, but she did put a skull emoji in the tweet. So at least it's not sounding like anything that is going to throw off any long term plans. Because when it was wild because I was looking up something on my phone and just wasn't paying attention to the ending of that match until I hear that they're stopping it, and that got my attention just because I wasn't sure if that was a legit finish or not. But it sounds like she'll be good. Nothing that will throw that off because Cora Jade, Masha Slamovich, sign me the fuck up.
Yes, you know the one where you can sign me up.
IWTV.
Oh, that too. No, Ridge and Ricky Saints.
Oh, really?
They had a nice little interaction last night.
Oh yeah, I know.
I kind of want to see that. I do kind of want to see that.
I'm surprised. This is the podcast that wants to see a program that involves Ridge Holland. Like wants this.
Look, Ridge won me over. This character that he's had, he has improved. He won me over. I will go out and say that when I'm wrong, and I'll admit when I'm wrong. When
that's two.
These performers. Well, I called the John Cena heel turn, so I don't want to hear it.
That's all well and good. Congratulations.
I called one of the biggest moments in wrestling history. So shut up.
Okay.
I actually called two of those because if you remember at the very beginning of this podcast, I did say Roman Reigns was going to beat Cody Rhodes at the first WrestleMania.
You did make that your official prediction, but you waffled.
It doesn't matter because
the match was happening.
Nobody else can hear that except for you. I
fucking heard it,
which allegedly happened.
Fact checker heard it.
There's no proof. It allegedly happened.
The fact checker wasn't there.
Fucker. No, he wasn't. He was not there at that point.
Wait,
it was just me and you.
Okay.
And allegedly, that happened.
Okay, right.
There's no recording. I have not admitted guilt, and you, as a lawyer, have zero proof that happened.
I really think that you should just
Oh, wait.
And the horse you fucking rode in on. Okay. Shout out to the Great Brown Hope, who's also in the chats. Check out his newest blog on the Main Event website. Yes, it's a hell of a read. We need to talk about this main event here. Shawn Spears, Tony D'Angelo, NXT North American Championship. Family versus family. A little bit of a miscommunication between Stax and the Don. And as a result, Shawn Spears is the new North American champion, his first WWE championship ever.
Yeah, it was time. I think it was time for that title to change. Tony D got the shock win over Oba Femi. Yep. It was time. Like this title needed something new. Needed a new face to hold it. Like Tony D did a fine job with it. I think it was always going to be kind of a transitional kind of thing. They gave him some good feuds in the middle, but it was the right move, I think, to do that because, again, potentially like a Ricky Saints could be the next North American champion, and we could see that happen as well. But wow, Great Brown Hope, pulling no punches tonight. And I get that the Tony D'Angelo characters not for everybody. They have their moments for sure. Where I enjoy them, but is this something on main roster that's going to happen? Probably not. We would need to see something else, something new. I don't know. But I think the right call for the title to change hands.
Yeah, and I said this in a video I posted to our TikTok last night. Give us a follow at Junkies Pod. So with this Shawn Spears group, it has taken them a while to find their footing. Adding Izzy Dame and having her, insulate this group and cost the family, interference with the family and kind of get them all mixed up with each other. the group finally feels complete. It seemed like for a while there, Spears, yes, was going on his search for followers, and Brooks Jensen was perfect because of the split with Fallon Henley and Josh Briggs. Briggs is going over to Noah. Fallon Henley's set for this heel turn and had the massive push, and he he was lost in the shuffle and this angle where he kind of was going on these work shoot promos and using social media and getting himself thrown out of buildings. Like, yeah, it was a start. I think it just took them a little longer than it should have to get to kind of this group being complete. But the gold adds some much needed credibility, and it's an easy first program for Shawn Spears. Hopefully he gets a title defense in before he eventually challenges Ricky Saints. But HB Shizzle is keeping us on our toes. So I'm excited.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. We didn't see.
Would please leave Chase you out of this, Kyle.
Yeah. How's that going? Sorry, I am.
We got the John Cena heel turn before the Duke Hudson heel. You know what? Okay.
Ooh, I just thought about that. Yeah. That's funny. It's actually funny. Yeah, it's funny. So what am I trying to say here?
No.
I had the thought and I lost it. Fuck.
Too much crawfish?
No.
A lot of jambalaya?
No. God.
Beignet coma.
I did have some.
Was it about Shawn Spears?
I think it was. Oh, no. Did we see that group at all last night?
We did not
see that? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I didn't know. I thought I may have missed it or something. I wanted a clarification if we saw that group. I know we saw Robert Stone at the beginning of the show, or maybe that was just on social media. But all right, I just wanted to clarify. Dynamite. We go home to AEW Revolution.
Yes,
you ready?
Let's hear it.
Cope takes on Wheeler Yuta, who looks like. I don't know what's going on with Wheeler Yuta's bangs, but all right. Swerve and Ricochet have their contract signing.
Oh, that's going to be good.
An interesting match. Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander take on Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford.
Love me some Megan Bayne.
It's interesting to see kind of how that match plays out. Hopefully everything goes okay.
Yeah.
And as of right now, that is the only thing. Those are the only things advertised for AEW tonight.
Okay.
Pretty pumped for Revolution. We'll talk about that. I think we'll talk about that tomorrow. But if you guys want to hear a ton about Revolution, come check out the Main Event Mixer on Sunday. I will be on that.
And yes, Evolve tonight streaming on Tubi. We've interviewed a couple of those. No. Okay. Well,
I don't know what that is. What is Tubi?
It's another free kind of like just streaming service. I'm sure if you get a smart TV, there's an app on your smart TV. But check out our interviews with ID prospects Aaron Rourke and Sean Legacy in our archive. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yes, that Revolution Main Event Mixer will be 2 hours before the pay-per-view. I will be in the chats this time cheering you guys on. Tomorrow night we'll give our predictions.
Yeah.
Provided that Jaden and Dylan don't knock each other off before the show's over.
Well, I'm hoping they're not in the same room.
It's gonna get chippy.
A little bit, but we've had some chippiness on this show before, so I'm not. We're not opposed to that. Like sometimes I like chippiness.
We are not.
There's a little salsa in there too.
And also, go show our friends at Coastal Empire Wrestling some love. I believe the Keep It Chokehold is scheduled to be released tomorrow. You'll get to see Randall Reno III versus Hunter James for the CEW Heavyweight Championship. The March card is shaping up. Podcast Ed, we're going to have a lot to talk about here. I've shown you one of the match types for the Tag Team Turmoil Championships, and it is violent. So
yes, we may have to get one of the participants on the show to help kind of explain that one.
I have been talking to Nikki 8 and Tommy Mars, feeling optimistic that we'll be able to make that happen and get their thoughts because
we know
Justin Roberts says shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yes, it's gonna be a wildly interesting match. I will say that.
Yes. Anything else, Podcast Ed?
think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. Wonderful. Guys, be nice to each other.
Yes.
Even though we're not nice all the time, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The TikTok. If you guys are on TikTok, subscribe to our TikTok. We are
at Junkies Pod
doing some fun stuff over there. All social media platforms. But yeah, go also follow the Main Event Network. Those guys are killing it. Their show is tomorrow for OTM. And then GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. If you guys need merch, if you are a wrestler that wants to get some merch, reach out to these guys and help support a small business that is trying to make their way in this world, just kind of like we are a small podcast trying to make our way into this big old world of wrestling.
Facts. Like, share, subscribe, join our community, tell one person, share some links, share our TikToks. We like to have fun around here. We're pretty easygoing, I'd like to think. So, yeah, come hang out. Thank you to everybody that joined us tonight. We will be back tomorrow night. We'll be giving our official Revolution predictions. We will also, again, have Jaden Newman and Dylan McQueen on the show. Again, absolutely going to be bonkers. So tune in live 6:30. Thank you guys so very much. That is the podcast, Dad. I'm Mr. Cincinnati. It's been the Wrestling Junkies podcast, and we'll see you tomorrow.